counseling is helping control his temper and aggressive behavior. But war doesn't only traumatize children. This mental health clinic waiting area is filled with adults, an indication that the war has harmed Syrians of all ages. Nisreen al-Shamaili, Al Jazeera, Al-Zaatri camp.
Iran's president-elect Hassan Rouhani is due to be inaugurated on Sunday. He's promised a different approach from that of outgoing President Mahmoud Ahmadinejad. But as Soraya Lennie reports, he faces enormous challenges, including a crumbling economy and crippling sanctions.
When Iranians voted for Hassan Rouhani, they were voting for something different, a change from Mahmoud Ahmadinejad's policies. Iran's sixth president has undone the social reforms of the previous government and reintroduced a harder line on press, foreign policy and personal freedoms. Rouhani has promised a different approach, but he's facing enormous challenges. One is improving relations with the rest of the world, including Britain and the United States.
The differences between the two countries are very deep. There is US animosity towards Iran on regional issues like Syria, Iraq and Afghanistan. If in the future direct talks start, they will be very challenging, and considering the current situation, it doesn't look like this will happen in the short term.
The disagreement over Iran's nuclear program is Rouhani's major international obstacle. The US and its allies accuse Iran of trying to make nuclear bombs. Iran says its program is peaceful. Israel has threatened military strikes, while the US says all options are on the table. Because of this standoff, Iran is under the toughest international sanctions it's ever faced. Bans on oil exports, on its central bank and on currency trading have hit the economy hard, and it's in a mess. There's also high unemployment, high inflation and a devalued currency. Rouhani says fixing the economy is his first priority, but he also campaigned on a promise to ease press restrictions and allow more personal freedoms. But that's a challenge too.
We experienced this under the reformist government of Mohammad Khatami. In just one day, 19 to 20 newspapers were closed, and that's not what the government wanted to happen. It's the judiciary and other organizations. The government can just speed up talks of freedom and make the atmosphere a little more open.
But pushing for domestic reform might be harder than anything else. All laws Rouhani's cabinet introduce have to go through Parliament and then the Guardian Council. Both are dominated by hardliners. And it was this situation that blocked former President Mohammad Khatami's attempts at wider reform, including in Iran's acclaimed film industry. Filmmakers like Fereshte Taipur, producer of Facing Mirrors, doesn't want to see that happen again.
The situation for some of our great directors just didn't improve. As we saw, some of them just don't make movies anymore, or some of their movies were banned. So considering the way they were treated, to save their respect and independence, they preferred not to work.
But as the list of challenges grows, so too do the expectations. Rouhani himself said change won't come soon, but he's asking Iranians to continue to have faith in him, like they did at the ballot box. Soraya, Lennie, Al Jazeera, Tehran.
The United States has issued a worldwide travel alert to its citizens, saying terrorists may be planning an attack. The threat has prompted the State Department to close 21 embassies or consulates on Sunday. In a statement, they said al-Qaeda-linked groups may target the period up until the end of August. U.S. travelers are being warned to take extra precautions, particularly in public transportation systems and other prime sites for tourists. There are concerns that the new ban on abortions after 20 weeks of pregnancy in the U.S. state of Texas could put women's lives at risk. Health officials fear that a black market in so-called abortion pills could fill the gap if clinics are forced to close. Andy Gallagher reports.
Okay. So this is where we do the procedures. The girls lie here on the table.
Dr. Lester Minto has performed thousands of abortions over the past 30 years at his clinic in the Rio Grande Valley, but it's not been without consequences.
There was a time when I got more death threats than Christmas cards.
And the staff here view the state's newly signed abortion laws as the most serious threat yet. The legislation, among other things, requires abortion providers to upgrade their facilities. Costly measures that critics say are unnecessary and